All right, welcome to JuiJitsu Dojo. So I'm here back in the Bronx, and I'm in front of this metal flashing around this property that's for sale in the Bronx. And by the size of this property, we're gonna want multi millions of dollars just for the property alone. But in any sense, if I had investors to get going on this with, I would. I put up some small buildings because just with the overcrowdedness in all these cities. Anyway, someone to take advantage of it. Anyway, moving on. So the last video I posted with the shotgun, I'm going to continue down that thread. Got a lot of views on that. It is an important issue for me as well. And I find also that in the jiu-jitsu community, especially where I live, because I live in northern New York, we have hunters, we have a lot of law enforcement, we also have just like a lot of, MAGA people, and yeah, they like the Second Amendment, they love the Second Amendment. And ironically, I just saw on YouTube past couple of days, hey, a new Supreme Court ruling about permits being illegal, and they want to strike that down. So I'm going to follow up with that. However, New York and California still have ways around it, because we're considered a sensitive area. So I'm going to continue following on that thread. I got some other things coming up regarding the firearms. But moving along, what I wanted to let you guys know is that I'm finally going to enter a tournament. It'll be in October in Connecticut. And once again, for myself, it really wasn't something that I felt I needed to do or had to do. So, my main thing was just getting to the gym, getting on the mats, getting better. But people have competed in my school before, plenty of times. But this time around, I was asked specifically, hey, why don't you come out with us, this, that, and the other. It'd be in Connecticut, not too far from my house. I think it's like an hour and 20-minute drive, not too bad. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, because it has been on my mind. I'm not going to be competing on a regular basis. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, while I was thinking this through, it also dawned on me. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should make it like a rite of passage, so that every belt that I get, I would have to at least compete once. But you know what I overheard when I was being approached about entering the tournament, and he's trying to get a lot of other guys in the gym to go to the tournament as well. He asked this one person, hey, do you want to join? And this person is very good in jiu-jitsu. It's a higher belt than I am. Hang out, we'll switch the train pass. Sorry about that. But it's kind of like rush hour morning, so. All right. So I overheard when he was asked, hey, do you want to compete? He was like, nah. He was like, I can't compete. He was like, why? You injured or something like that? He was like, no. But at least the guy was able to identify it. He was like, one, he was like, I don't think I'm that good. I'm not good enough. And then he goes, I know it's about my ego. I have an issue with my ego. And I was like, wow. He was able to identify it. So that kind of struck me. I was like, okay, so that's telling me he doesn't want to lose. Right? That's what that means. But then ironically, I'm going to have to read you something. And I didn't even notice this before. But in my gym, there's a plaque. And it's a quote from a famous speech that Teddy Roosevelt had given. And it's called The Man in the Arena. Listen to this if you haven't heard it. It's amazing. All right, so here goes. The man in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong person stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the person who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again. Because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds? Who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends themselves in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if they fail, at least fails while daring greatly, so that their place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. That sums it up right there. Teddy Roosevelt, by the way. So my mentality is I go. I lose, I don't care, but I'm going to give it my all. That'll be next month. I'll let you guys know how that is. Thank you for listening to the Juice This Dope. Peace, and never say die.